Hey, I'm back for episode number 5. Can you believe it? It's moving right along. This is record number 82. It's Jefferson Airplane. And Bless Its Pointed Little Head is the name of the album. This is actually from the 1980s. The original album was produced in the 1960s. And anytime you pick up an album and the sleeve is in really good condition, that should tell you that it's probably a repressing or a reissue, I guess would be the correct terminology. But anyway, this is on the RCA Victor record label. The vinyl is in terrific shape. And let's see here. I wrote down some notes for you guys so I could give you some more information. Reissue, originally 1969 was when this album first came out. The average selling price for a good record right now is between $6 and $15. The high was $45. It was recorded live at Fillmore East and West, and it included Grace Slick. So anyway, it's good music. Jefferson Airplane, I like them a lot. It's worth buying. So that is, I guess, record number 82. Somewhere along that. Okay, here's another Jefferson Airplane, and this is from 1970. This is the worst of Jefferson Airplane, okay? But this thing is in terrific condition. This is the 1970 pressing. And let's see here. The vinyl, nice shape, proud to own it. Okay, RCA, it peaked at number 12. When it came out. The average selling price right now is between $10 and $22. The high was $90 plus, and it was the first compilation album. And it features Somebody to Love and White Rabbit, which were both really big hits for Jefferson Airplane. So anyway, Grace Slick, gotta love it. Okay. Here's a group that I grew up with. It's Kansas. This came out in 1977. It came out, it made it up to number 4 on the charts. It went multi-platinum, and it is Kansas, Point of No Return. So let's get this out. Show you the front and the back. Okay, it is on the Asylum. Doesn't sound right. No, the Kirshner record label. Anyway, very cool stuff. Point of No Return. Here we go. Side 1, Point of No Return. I can't read their scribble. Anyway, it's a good album. It's Kansas from the 1970s. You know what I'm trying to say. You reach a certain age and, the small print, it just doesn't work. And I got new glasses last year. I've gotten new glasses every year. Okay, it went multi-platinum, got up to number 4. Average selling price was between $8 and $18. The high was $100 plus. So there's some poor guy sitting out there right now that paid $100. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I love Joan Jett. She is a rockin' babe. Nice gatefold, lots of photos of the band in action. Let's take a look at some of the songs if we can. It does have a barcode, I'm sorry. Okay, Fake Friends, Handyman, Everyday People, which is a remake, was it Sly and the Family Stone? I think it was. 100 Feet Away and Secret Love. Can't see the other side. The French song, Tossin' and Turnin', Why Can't We Be Happy? I Love, Playin' with Fire, Coney Island, Whitefish, and Had Enough. That's Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Great music. The album is in terrific shape. And if I can get this back in here. There we go. Average selling price on this album is between $10 and $25. There wasn't a lot of information available on this album. So there you go. Next, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. 1981, this is I Love Rock and Roll, which, you know, everybody's familiar with that, or should be. Average selling price is between $10 and $25. The high is $100 plus. It was her sophomore studio album. I Love Rock and Roll went to #1 on the charts. So it was great. This is on the Boardwalk. This is the Boardwalk NB1. Yeah, Boardwalk Entertainment. All right. So here's the back of the album. There's the front of the album. And this thing is in great shape. I bought this here locally in La Quinta at a yard sale from some folks who are friends of mine now. I really didn't know them back then, but turned out they were very cool, and they just hadn't listened to their albums in a long time. And, you know, they loved Joan Jett as well, but you know what? They hadn't put it on turntable. They didn't even have a turntable. So anyway, this is Joan Jett, Bad Reputation. Now this is a repress. You'll see the barcode up there, and I'll tell you a good story. Okay, Bad Reputation, Make Believe, You Don't Know What You Got, You Don't Own Me, Shout, Doing All Right with the Boys, Let Me Go, Wooly Bully. Okay, good stuff. This, it was a 1981 reissue. It went platinum. The average selling price is between $10 and $25. The high is $120 plus. This album was rejected by 23 different record labels. And she went ahead and she recorded it independently and sold it out of the trunk of her car. And the rest is history. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. So, as one salesperson to another, I think that's great. I think that is, you know what? We're all salespeople. We go through life and we either get good at convincing others about our products and services, or we, you know what, or we just wind up, well, we just wind up elsewhere. But anyway, my hat's off to Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. The Best of James Gang, and this features Joe Walsh. Pretty familiar album. It's been around for a long time. I've certainly seen lots of this. It is on the ABC. Yeah, I think, yeah, ABC Records. And I'm not going to get that out of there. Hopefully I can. Yep, Funk 48. Walk Away, Midnight Man, Take a Look Around, Funk 49. Woman, The Bomber, Ashes, The Rain and I, Yadig, and Stomp. Or Stop. Stop, not Stomp. This is Joe Walsh. Average selling price is between $10 and $20. The high was $60. And the album came out in 1973. Okay, I am back. Did a little experiment there, and it worked. 1969 was the year. Gold record status. This album peaked at #5. The average selling price was between $10 and $22, a high of $100 plus. And it was her debut solo album. We're talking about none other than Janis Joplin. So here we go. This is one of my favorites. It's on the Columbia record label. You already know how I feel about Columbia. Look at that. The two eyes on the Columbia. Old school, like Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, Chris Christopherson, Bob Dylan. Anyway, Janis Joplin, I got them old cosmic blues again, mama. 360 surround sound in stereo. Okay, Janis Joplin. What a terrific artist. It's a shame that her life ended so soon, but that's just the way things work out sometimes. Okay, gold record, we told you all that. Her debut solo album, and this kind of shows you the state that she was in at the time. She was a rockin', rollin' gal. As far as Janis Joplin goes, my favorite album cover is definitely this. This is her greatest hits, and check this out. Janis in her prime. She is sitting on a motorcycle. She's got her, I don't know what kind of shades those are, but she's got some leather on. She's got some hippie clothes. She's just stringy hair. She's in the park. She's just loving life. You know what? She's on top of the world at this time. Janis Joplin's greatest hits. Speaking of Chris Christopherson, Me and Bobby McGee, he wrote that song, I believe. Down on Me, Pieces of My Heart, Try, Just a Little Bit Harder, Bye Bye Baby, Summertime, Ball and Chain, Move Over, Cry Baby, Get It While You Can. It's a terrific album. You know, Janis Joplin is just was such a talented singer, and her voice, you just can't confuse it with anybody else. Okay, reissue 1973. Average selling price is around $8 to $16. The high was $60 plus for this album. Okay, one more Janis Joplin album, I think. 1971. This was 9 weeks on #1. 4 million plus copies sold. Wow. In 1971, if you're plugging out 4 million copies of an album, you are on top of the world. Average selling price, $10 to $25. High is $100 plus. It was her second and final album, unfortunately. And the name of the album is Pearl. So there you go. Janis Joplin. Dressed to the hilt. Still true to the Columbia label that I like. And there you go. If you have any Janis Joplin stories, I would love to hear it. Please put it in the comments or anything about Janis Joplin that you'd like to add. She's one of my favorites. Okay, another one of my favorites is Humble Pie. This is a 2 LP set, and it's from 1971. The average selling price is between $8 and $18. The high was $50 plus. It's a double live, 2 times LP. So it's a 2 album set. Rockin' the Fillmore. Okay. Let's open it up. Okay. I've got both the albums over here, so pardon that. But lots of great candid shots there. It was the last album that Humble Pie produced that had none other than Peter Frampton as the guitarist, and I think it included a huge poster when it was originally released. I don't have I don't have the poster, so anyway, keep on moving. Next is another artist that is very familiar, definitely from the 1960s. This is Jimi Hendrix, and the name of the album is called Electric Ladyland. And there you go. Open up the gatefold, and you can see lots of pics. As a matter of fact, I think, here's the back of it. And what? Oh, it's on the Reprise record label. I like that too. Old school Reprise. You know, Reprise was owned by Frank Sinatra. Not initially, but he bought the Reprise record label and made it into a big success, a bigger success. #1 on the Billboard. Average selling price for this album is between $20 and $40. The high is $280 plus. Wow. Reprise Records, we talked about that already. This was his third and final studio album, so Jimi Hendrix. Also, I read somewhere, I'm pretty sure it was this album, that he, in the original album that was released, it had like 19 photos of scantily clothed young women, and the record stores and the churches and everybody kind of got upset over that. So just like the Beatles did when they came out with their grotesque record cover, they quickly repackaged it and made it into something a little more family friendly, but anyway, if you can make Jimi Hendrix family friendly, I don't know. Okay, Heart, B.B. Lestrange, 1980. We all recognize it's Ann and Nancy Wilson. Heart, got a barcode. I'll forgive them. It was the 1980s on the Epic record label. Okay, let's see what songs we got. B.B. Lestrange, Down on Me, Silver Wheels Break, Rockin' Heaven Down, Even It Up, great song. Strange Night, Raised on You, Pilot, and Sweet Darling. So, get this back in here. 1980, we talked about that. Average selling price is between $8 and $18. The high is $45 plus. And it was their 5th studio album, Heart. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these little pieces of Post-it note after I'm done here. I guess I can donate them. Okay, George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. Nice album. I think there's 3. This is a 3 LP set. It's on the Apple record label. I don't want to drop anything here. This is pretty fragile. Yeah, here you go. Apple record label. Very nice. Okay. All Things Must Pass. Got lots of songs. What was the My Sweet Lord. My Sweet Lord. George Harrison. 3 LP set. It's a good one. Average selling price is between $25 and $50. Wow. The high is $200 plus. Solo debut album after the Beatles breakup. So they were just done with each other by that time. So anyway, George Harrison, good guy. Here's another one of my favorite groups. This is the Guess Who, and the name of the album here is American Woman. So, American Woman. Okay, that's all I'll do with that. Stay away from me. Okay. But anyway, they're a great group, Canadian group. In case you didn't know, Randy Bachman, Bachman Turner Overdrive, was guitarist, and they were just great. Okay, they still are. They're just one of my favorite groups of all time. They had a lot of big hits. This was number 1 on the U.S. Billboard, average selling price between $10 and $20. And the highest it sold for, according to Discogs, is $75 plus. So anyway, the Guess Who, great music. Okay, more great music. Take a drive with the Eagles. This is just the Eagles, okay? On the Asylum record label. Old school, been around for a long time. So let's take a look here. Well, let's see what songs. Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Chug All Night, Most of Us Are Sad, Nightingale, Train Leaves Here This Morning, Take the Devil, Early Bird, Peaceful, Easy, Feelin', and Tryin'. So it is loaded with hits. It was their debut studio album from 1972. It peaked at number 22 on the U.S. Billboard. I think it's the Hot 200. I don't think it's 100. I think it's 200. But anyway, it peaked at number 22 out of 200 albums available at the time. The average selling price was $8 to $18, and the highest it sold for, according to Discogs, was $100 plus. Here we go. We're going to stay with the Eagles. This is a 2 LP set, and this is the Eagles Live. You can see right here. Great condition. I've had this album, again, like most of my stuff, for a pretty good while. And I think this is the third, fourth, fifth, sixth copy that I've had of it because, again, when you get on the Eagles, come on, they get played, and they're usually in pretty poor condition. But anyway, it looks like this was on the Atlantic record label, and there you go. So, great shape, 2 LP. It went multi-platinum, whatever that means. And the average selling price is $8 to $18. The most was $55 plus. It was a compilation from 1976 to 1980. Yeah, and this is kind of a sad album here. I guess it was their last one. It said compiled from 1976 to 80. The tour stops were LA and somewhere else, both in California. And it said the Eagles had already broken up and there was much friction in the studio over who got the credit for this and who got paid for that. And I guess the lawyers just fed on each other at the time. So anyway, okay, let's go back to 1976. I was 16 years old in 1976. Hotel California came out. What an amazing album this was, and what an amazing photograph. If you ever study this photograph, boy, this is just, we've all been there several times. But anyway, this is a great album, Hotel California. It was, let's see, pristine promo. It sold, anybody care to guess how many albums or how many records this sold? Keep going. No, go higher. Okay, here we go. It sold 26 million copies. 26 million copies in 1976. Wow. Average selling price is now between $10 and $20. The highest this record went for a pristine promo was $200 plus. There you have it, the Eagles. Okay, 2 more records I think, and we're done for this session. This was 1973. This is Desperado. It was their second studio album. This sold 2 million plus copies. Average selling price now is $12 to $25. This is in really good shape, but that bothers me. It's got a little marking down there. So if I find a better Desperado album, I'm going to replace this one with it. Again, they stayed true to the Asylum records. That looks good. Vinyl is in great shape. And, you know, records, I'll say this while I'm trying to get the air out of this. Collecting records should be fun. And it, you know, I see so many people who get all wrapped up in what pressing it is and who mastered it and who did this and who did that. But you know what? It's the music. You should just enjoy the music for what it is and go on down the road. Okay, Eagles, On the Border is our last one. This is from 1974. It was their third studio album. I really like that cover, and I really like the text on the back and the font. I think that's very cool. So I got a feeling it is on, yep, it's on the Asylum records. Already Gone, what a great song. You'll Never Cry Like a Lover, Midnight Flyer, My Man, On the Border, James Dean, Old 55, It Is True, Good Day in Hell, and The Best of My Love. Wow. 1974, third studio album. It went certified multi-platinum, average selling price between $7 and $12, 30 to 55 for mint condition. Thank you for watching. I'm back out in the garage. As you can hear my increased words per minute, it's hot out here. My wife has a dentist appointment, and let's see what time it is. It is 12:04 in 56 minutes, so we got to get across town. Thanks again for watching. Please leave us a comment or a like or whatever you do here on YouTube. Thank you. God bless. We'll see you in the next video.